It's almost Halloween, and it's time for an experiment on this sugar skull. It's plaster, and I think I can watercolor on it. So that's the experiment. So let's see. Got my paper towel. Got my goggles. Got my gloves. Very important. Protect your hands. Wear your PPE when you're doing experiments. Let's see. Got my water cup. Got my water to drink and to pour. Got my brushes. It's a little Fumi travel brush set. And importantly, my watercolors. So the experiment is, can I watercolor on this plaster? It's porous. I don't see why we can't. And if it doesn't work, we'll just gesso over it and paint it in acrylic. But I think it's gonna work. So let's see what happens. All right, I mixed up a little bit of yellow here. I want to see what happens because I want to see what happens. Is it going to work? The only thing is you have to be a little more careful because you know what I think I would do? I think I'll do part of this in watercolor. Like I'll do the base of it in watercolor. And then I'm going to put acrylic on top of it. What do you guys think of that? I think that sounds like a fabulous idea. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cover the whole thing in yellow. You see what I'm doing? It works. It's porous, so it makes sense that it would work. That's my cat in the background. He's very sad. Because I kicked my husband out of the kitchen so I could do this on the kitchen table. And Casey, my husband, is usually down here working. So the cats were messing with his routine and not very happy about it. That would be my husband telling me I need to do something. I know it's terrible. It's just awful what you have to put up with. I don't know how you do it, Sam. I really don't. I know. I'm going to have to voice over this whole entire video, Sam. Why do you do this to me? I feed you, I cuddle you, I put ice in your water bowl for you. I know, and it's never enough. You are the most insatiable cat. I don't know. I know, it's terrible. It's terrible when you can't count on your family to just dote on you every second. Terrible when they decide to have other things to do. So in case you're wondering, I'm going to make this skull kind of a bone color. And I'm just starting off with yellow. And yes, I will do the underside of it as well. At least part of it. I don't want the underside to feel neglected. You know, it could haunt me or something. All my friends at the art house do really amazing stuff. They don't just paint, they do all kinds of stuff. Like they sculpt, they do paper mache, they do three-dimensional stuff. And, you know, I've never really ventured into that foray. So I just decided I would see what would happen. I feel like I keep saying that. I decided to see what would happen. Duh. Okay. I'm probably going to voice over a lot of this anyway because of the cat and because of, you know, awkward social interaction when no one's around. How do you have a social awkward situation when you're alone? I feel like that makes it even like a, I don't know, a whole new level of social awkwardness. And I think it's okay that it's uneven because I think bones are, they're not like, I mean, they have a lot of unevenness. So I'm not even worried about that with this. It's going to be what it is. I can't tell you how much fun this is. It's just, like, I have no idea what's going to happen. And it's okay. Oh my goodness. There's someone in the powder room off the kitchen. I'm in the kitchen. They've been in there a long time. I don't know what they're doing. I think they're looking at their phone and scrolling through memes. Okay. The side has to have some paint as well. So we're going to get that. I know that Thursday I'm going to take this to Open Studio, and people are going to have all kinds of ideas on what I can do with this. I might even spark a trend. Maybe a bunch of people will go get these. I think I'll put some of this on there. I want it to look like bone, kind of. Let's see what that looks like. This is a granulating pigment. I kind of wanted to avoid that, but maybe it'll look like sediment or something. I feel like I could almost pour watercolor on this. Ooh, this is so fun. This is really fun. It's going to look like a real skull. Like I took a real skull, and I think it will, and look like I then painted it, like when I decorate it. Maybe I'll spray it with workable fixative, and then gesso over that, maybe. I don't know, we're going to find out. This is really uncharted territory. See, I got to do all of this. This is just like, man, it just sops up the watercolor like crazy. Okay. So I feel like there needs to be a little bit more here. Like, I don't know. Ooh, there's some plaster coming out on the inside. Ugh. All right. Can you guys see that? What do you think? I think that is pretty cool. All right, now I'm going to put a little bit more of this on the top here because it looks a little bit too bright yellow. All right, now let's see what other colors I have here. Is this a rusty color or a brown? Oh, that's brown. Okay, I want this. I want some of this, I think. Yeah. All right, let's see what happens when I do that. Ooh. Ooh. That's interesting. It's like I'm staining it with watercolor. It's really interesting. Oh, wow. That really neutralized the yellow. What I like about this is it doesn't have to be super even. It just, This is so cool. I can't believe how this is looking. A lot of my experiments are not successful, but I feel like this one kind of is working out. I like the way it looks. I want it to look like it's really old and maybe a little dirty, but not like gross dirty, just like it's been around for a long, long time, and that it's just kind of soaked into it, you know? So let's do this on the bottom here. Like dries almost immediately. Got to paint it from all angles to get it to look old and really old. And oh, look at that! Look at that! That is coming out so cool. Yeah, I like the way this looks. I wish I had thought about this earlier. I think you could do a lot of cool stuff with this. Watercolor on plaster. Ooh, we need to get in there and dig a little in there. Put a little bit of grime in between the teeth, right? By the way, I've never painted a sugar skull. I don't know anything about the lore. I just thought this looked cool. And I think it does. I think it's going to be really awesome. One of my successful experiments. A lot of them are not. Let's see if I can get in here, get that. Neutralize that yellow a bit. I'm literally just I don't know, just brushing it over here willy-nilly. All willy-nilly like. I mean, I guess I'm sort of methodically going around it, but this one didn't get a lot of yellow. It's weird how some of it isn't, there are places where it isn't soaking in quite as much. I don't know what that's about. Plaster's weird. Okay, here's what it looks like now. I think we'll do a little bit of color, but it's going to be more muted and mossy. Like I'll put some greens in here, but they'll be mossy looking, you know? All right, so I'll put my watercolors again, but this time I'm going to use a smaller brush. Not a small brush, but a smaller brush. Okay, and let's see what's a good green here. What have I got for greens? Is this green? I think it is. No, that's blue. Ah, that's all right. I might have to use that. Let's see, what is that? That's green. Okay, but it's definitely not a mossy green. That is like a... Okay. What is that? Oh, yeah, that's the color right there. See, I don't have my swatches in here. And I poured these weeks ago, and I just haven't, I don't know. All right, so I'm going to paint this little bit here. What do you guys think? Can you see that? Okay, so if I hold it like that, let's see what happens. You can see it. Oh, my edges. Okay. I guess the question is, okay, so I'm gonna make this like a vine as well. I almost feel like I want the green to granulate a little bit, but let's see. This is going to be a lot more subtle, I think, than if it were to be painted with opaque acrylic paints. You know what I hate about trying to talk while I'm painting is, I don't know, I think the part of your brain that talks and the part of your brain that thinks when you're trying to figure out what you're going to do, they compete. They fight against each other trying to figure out which one gets priority. And so I always seem to pause a lot when I'm talking and trying to paint. I don't know how other people do that. That's why I usually do a voiceover, but today I'm just going to see what I can do. I'm going to see if I can do all the tasking at the same time. I was going to voice over and I just decided I'm not going to do that. My friend, well, she's an acquaintance. She's a YouTube acquaintance, Gabriella Anna Cormier. Not sure if I'm saying her name correctly, but she says she keeps things simple, and I think I've been making things way too complicated. So I'm going to keep this more simple too. That's what I'm going to do this time. We'll see if I get more than 60 people who watch this video, because it's going to be long. You know, it is a long video already. I also said I wouldn't talk about how I make my videos. I told myself I wouldn't do that. One of my progeny is coming downstairs. I'm recording, just FYI, so don't cuss. Not that you ever do. Okay, so I don't know if I was recording there or not. I got a little confused. So yeah, I am definitely using a mossy color palette. One thing I'm noticing is that you have to use a lot more paint in order to get it to be any darker. So, because when it soaks in, it just kind of disappears a little bit. I mean, it just fades. So I'm having to go over it a couple of times. Before it kills my arm and my wrist. So I'm just going over it. I'm using very concentrated. Well, I mean, it's still pretty watery, but like this is how it is. I don't really know what paint is in this palette because it's been a while since I poured it. And I don't really care because I know what pigments I have, and I can tell pretty easily. I don't know. I've been doing it for a while, you guys. And so sometimes I don't even swatch out my palette. I just put them in there and just use them. Kind of have a feel. I knew this palette is like a more natural, like autumn color palette. But I can't remember specifically which paint I put in here. I think this is a Paul Rubens, but I'm not sure. Might not be. It doesn't matter. Use whatever colors you have. And whatever colors you like to use. Okay, I'm going to put green dots there. Put a little bit more on there. Now the flowers I am going to paint to be, okay, I've got to do this side too. I'm going to paint them to be actual flowers, like flower colors, floral colors. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to do that. And again, I'm going to go over this a couple times because it just soaks in so much that it fades a bit. I mean, it fades a lot on paper, but it really fades on this. Let's see, did I get... Okay, I've got that. Now I have to decide on the face. Are these things also going to be green? They look like little... These dots here, I think they'll be green. I really want to keep it kind of a natural palette. I want this to look like it was dug out of the ground like this, kind of. I think that's what I settled on. I think that's what I decided as I was doing this. I want it to look mossy and natural and just, I don't know. Like it could be in the garden. You know, like it could just be in the garden. In fact, I think this part needs a little bit of paint, and I'm just going to make this part a little mossy. Okay. All right, now this part here, I'm also going to do in the green. You guys, this is so fun. I highly recommend this. It's different. It's not the same thing everyone else is doing. You know, and sometimes you don't want to do everything everyone else is doing. You know, oops, I missed something up here, didn't I? I missed this part. Yeah, and I kind of should have probably worn my gloves for real because I'm getting paint all over them. Fortunately, I don't think anything in here is toxic. I think this is a non-toxic palette. Except for maybe that blue. I think everything else is, and then, no, that's not, yeah, I think all of them except for this blue one are non-toxic. So, all right, now, let's look at the face again, and I'm going to paint, the inside of the flowers of the eyes. They are going to have this sort of school bus yellow or zinnia center yellow. I love it. All right, I'm going to do it on this one too, obviously, because why wouldn't I? All right. Now what is this? This is, I think this is Permanent Rose. Winsor Newton Permanent Rose. It's quinacridone rose, except Winsor Newton calls it Permanent Rose. All right, so let's paint. Let's paint these. Oh, wow. It looks so natural. It looks like I took berries and like I'm staining this with berries or something. It's really pretty. I don't know if it's coming across on camera as well, but it's very, very pretty. See, I think that this could be really cool if you were into like nature colors. Duh. Okay. I don't know, like if you wanted to turn this plaster art into something like naturey, more of a serious and less of a fun Halloween thing, I think you could do it. Okay, I'm going to go over it one more time, just right around the centers. I'm not being fussy about this at all. Really not. I think that I want some of this brown around here, maybe. It might be a little bit too dark. Let's see if I can lighten it a little bit. I mean, I don't want to draw too much attention to it, like, right? All right, let's get in there a little bit. There, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. A little bit more of this bright color here. Okay. Should have made this green too. I don't know what I was thinking. Why didn't I do that? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. All right, now what color flowers do I want to put on the side? Do I want them to be purple? Like maybe I want them to be like a purple color. Or this. Okay, now this is a student color. I'm going to use this. It's a Van Gogh color. It's kind of a purpley. It's like a dioxazine. No, not dioxazine. It's, I don't know. Use whatever colors you have. It's kind of weird to me how some of the plaster just soaks it up and some of it almost repels it. I'm recording, by the way.
Okay.
This is kind of like the color of purple mums. That's what it reminds me of. So it does fade a bit. This is a really good color choice for this, I think. But I also kind of think that whatever colors you pick, they're going to turn sort of earthy. I can't believe how much, how quickly this stuff dries up on here. So, you know, you could probably sand this plaster a little bit. Makes me wonder if they put some kind of a coating on it. I don't know. Because, I mean, it's kind of weird. Could be the oils from my hands that absorbed into it. I don't know. All right. Okay, and I think I'm going to put that same dark sort of purple up here. I'll bet that's what happened. I bet while I've been handling this, the oils from my skin kind of soaked into the plaster. So, you know, again, maybe I should have worn those gloves. It's almost like a beet color. It's so pretty. You know how sometimes one company has a version of a color and it's just so much better than everybody else's? I feel like this is that way for this purple, this particular. I think it's like a quinacridone purple. Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. It's the red version for Gogh. It has a bluer version and a redder version. This is the redder one. I would swatch my palettes out for you guys, but I feel like it gets done to death and maybe everybody's not that interested in it. I don't know. Don't know. Okay, now I have to do the centers of the flowers. Again, I'm going to use this Indian yellow color, which I think is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This is a Paul Rubens color, but you know what? I'm going to tell you what I don't like about Paul Rubens. I feel like they keep changing their colors. So if you find something you really like, you may not be able to find it again, even if it's the same pigment and the same name. I feel like they keep changing them. They need to stop doing that, in my opinion. You think they'll listen to me? Probably not. Probably not. Because I don't have a big enough channel. But that's okay. I like my channel just the way it is. All right, now these little back guys. Gonna do these ones. All right. This is the kind of project you could do with your kids if you've got little kids or grandkids, or you're an aunt or an uncle. I know they have smaller ones of these, so little ones could do this. I think I really like the way these they just look like they've been stained with natural pigments, like that you'd find in your yard, like maybe rhubarb. Maybe somebody took rhubarb and stained these. I don't know, but I like it, y'all. I like it a lot. All right, let's see, what colors do I want to put back here? Do I want these to be... Yeah, I think I want them to be that rosy color. Let's just do that. I like that. We'll put this on the top, and then we'll put the purple on the bottom part. All right, purple around here. And it's okay if it's not even. It's okay if it's imperfect. I feel like that adds to it in this particular thing here. That you'd want it to not be super perfect. Okay, now these flowers here I feel like should be blue. So I'm going to paint them like a little granulating blue color. This is ultramarine blue. Again, use whatever colors you have and that you like to use. It's a very personal choice. Now I feel like I could spray varnish this and then wax it, and it would be so cool. I really do. I do think this green needs to be a little more, so I'm going to put a little bit more on it here. Okay. Do I get both of those? Get this over here. Okay. Now this top part here. Oh, there's a flower over here on each side. I almost missed it. over here and get this one. Wow, I really love the way this is turning out. I mean, I hate to keep saying that, but I really do. I wasn't sure what to expect. I was about 2/3 thinking, I'm just going to have to seal this and gesso it and go over it with acrylic, but I don't think I'm going to have to. I think it looks pretty darn cool. Discovered a new technique all on my own. I love it when that happens. Okay. Now, what am I going to do with this top? This is a big flower up here, and I feel like what color should it be? It's on top. Maybe it needs to be a little sunnier. Let me see what happens if I use this color. Ooh, I like this. Okay, let me turn this. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, just a little bit more right here. Get that to take. You can almost watch it absorb. If I put this on slow-mo, you could just watch it absorb. Okay, now for the center of that, I think I'm going to do brown right here. I don't know what kind of flower that is. I think it's just a very stylized flower. I don't think it's any particular kind. You know? That's what I think. All right, one last little bit. And again, I'm going to use that beautiful Indian yellow. Okay, I think I'm definitely going to have to spray varnish this. And I think that's okay. What do you guys think? Wonder what'll happen when I spray varnish it. I'm not going to record that part just because I'm not sure how to set up for it. But I'm going to go do that right now, and I'll let you guys know. Okay, look at that. Okay, I sprayed it with this Krylon UV archival gloss, and it's actually glossy. I think that it did an amazing job. So now I just have to let it dry. It's awesome. I love it. Well, that's all for me today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for spending your time with me. And if you made it all the way to the end, you're a saint. So I'll see you in the next video, you guys. Take care. Smooches. Bye.